Why make your AI rewrite the same query every day? Helen Wall's answer: build the semantic layer once and everyone gets identical numbers.
Asking the same question every day, like, that's very inefficient, and it's going to differ over time because again, going to this idea of multiple, like, amount fields in a model, different, filtering capacity. The other thing, businesses grow and they might have new locations added or new products, and so it's easy to miss that by asking these questions and not having this comparison point. So what you want to do is you can use generative AI to create something, but then how are you going to make that so it produces the same result each time that you open up a report, for example?
Ideally, you want to do like generate the SQL once and call it each time. I suppose this naturally leads to the idea of a semantic layer, which I know you're a big fan of. Do you want to talk us how this works?
So you think of this iceberg, and the visuals are on top, right? So, any interactions you have with that, right? It's like 10% of the mass of an iceberg is visible. So underneath it is, I often refer to semantic models underwater. And I don't mean it is that a lot of people can't see it, right? Unless you're building, developing, creating something, you're not going to be able to see, the semantic models. So Power BI was actually kind of built on other tools. So, and one of those was SQL Server analysis services, and having this tabular model was going to be more efficient than often someone running a SQL query every time. So think about if you connect to like a cube and you put that in an Excel file, right? You can create a pivot table and you don't see any of that data. So all the work occurs below the surface. So within the semantic model, you've got connections to model and SQL queries and this ETL framework. And then Power BI, you want to actually have the tables separate. And this is something that is a challenge. But then with Power BI, you actually want to have that separately because you can reduce the size of the model by using a dimension table to refer to like user IDs rather than having each one of those as a new column to each existing record. So it compresses the size of the model. So you want to have those like dimension tables, dates, user details, and then what we call the fact tables. So the data tables, transactions, the big tables. So then you can connect those tables together, and so rather than do that SQL query, you physically join them together, choose the join type, and then you build calculations on top of that, and you can build those actually as part of the ETL framework, and then you can build them with DAX. So the advantage with that is if you're working across a bigger team or even more than one person, is that people can connect to that model without having to write their own queries. You can use it in Power BI and you can also use it in other tools, right? You can actually connect an Excel model to a Power BI model and then you create a pivot table of aggregated summary of those data points. So the idea behind using the semantic model is scaling scaling a data model that makes it easier to update, for more people to work with, and then refresh and scale across an organization because you want to be able to reuse models where you can. If using generative AI and these tools that are part of it makes it easier to build something, is why are you building it to start with? Like, do you need it? Do you need something additional, or can you adjust what you already have? It's often, again, as mentioned earlier, it's harder to change or to edit existing models, and models meaning code, something that's already built. It's a lot harder to edit it than to build something new because when you build something new, you're creating more potential variation later and more confusion, right? Again, it's easier now, but it's going to be a lot harder uh, to explain or to make changes later if it was like, created new because that was the easier way to do it at the time.
So I love that idea of semantic layers and semantic models helping you scale things because with particularly with vibe coding, it's very easy to oh yeah, I'm going to create something new from scratch, and if everyone does that, they all create slightly different things. But having that kind of standardized shared reference between teammates Yeah, it just allows you to not keep reinventing the wheel and have a sort of consistent, get consistent answers from your problems. There's the other aspect to this, which is around cost control. Because you mentioned that, yeah, if you're generating stuff from scratch, if you're like writing the same prompt every day and getting your AI to do all this work over and over again, not very cost efficient. And I think certainly uh, it was when Anthropic released the Fable model, which is like an amazing model, but it's just very expensive. So I think like my LinkedIn feed just turned into lots of people saying, "Oof, we need to start thinking about how to save money on AI now." So, talk me through what are your tips for not blowing your entire budget on AI in a few days?
First of all, realizing that it's can easily be very expensive, and looking at what you're building, and not using AI as like the solution, right? Because ultimately, if I continue doing this, what's going to be the cost in the future, right? Because right now it's priced a lot less than what it will ultimately be charged. But if you've put, any organization, team, individual, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you can't do it without AI. That if you're reliant on AI to do something, then that's going to be a lot more expensive in the long run.